Hello, George. I'm Shamina Shafi from Hi Dubai. I'm a business journalist. It's very good to have you here.
My name is George Kunnappally. I'm the Managing Director for Nando's in the UAE.
George Kunnappally, Managing Director of Nando's UAE, has been a key figure in the hospitality industry for over 25 years. Featured on the Caterer Middle East Power List for 4 consecutive years since 2020, George's extensive experience in franchise operations, management, and brand development has been instrumental in shaping the success of renowned brands like Subway, Charlie's Philly Steaks, and Johnny Rockets across the Middle East, Africa, and CIS regions.
Can you tell us about your career journey prior to that and how that led to you becoming the managing director of Nando's UAE?
So, I did my hotel school in Bangalore. It was a graduate program in hotel and restaurant management. And like most of my classmates, I was hired on campus. I joined the Taj Group of Hotels in India. But pretty soon at the Taj Fisherman's Cove in Chennai, I realized hotels are not my cup of tea. Primarily for the reason that it took way too long to get to a managerial position. So I came to Dubai on a shopping festival visit visa and never went back. So Nando's, like Subway, was one of those few brands that I was interested in, that at some time in your career, if it came up, you would drop everything and take it up. And I was familiar with the brand since I had studied about their success story in hotel school or restaurant management. So I love the food. They have a great product. The vibe is very different from what you would find in many other restaurants. The Southern African charm, the vibe, the employees have a certain panache which you don't find. It's not artificial. It's very much a part of their personality. So that's something that really drove me to the brand. And I like natural experiences.
So, how would you describe your leadership style? And all leaders kind of infuse themselves into the organization. So, how would you say your style has influenced Nando's?
So my leadership style has evolved over a period of time. To be reasonable and to be realistic, it has not been the same style always. I was predominantly brought in to fix something. Okay, I've always been open enough to accept that if a business is running extremely well, I've never been the first choice of recruiters or employers. So initially when you're young, you try to be pretty brutal in establishing your leadership. You chop off people and you're more demanding and you're high-handed, that by the time you reach profitability, you have stamped on a lot of feet or you've hurt a lot of people. Okay, and looking back, I feel I could have done it more democratically and with less pain and achieved the same results. And for me, that entrepreneurial mindset is critical in an employee. You have to have humility, you have to have passion, you have to have optimism, and definitely ambition. Today, we don't have a labor shortage, we have a shortage in these attributes.
The UAE dining scene is highly competitive.
Yes.
What differentiates Nando's and how do you manage to keep that competitive edge?
So, with absolute humility, in the flame grilled peri-peri chicken space, we don't have a direct competitor, luckily. Are there other brands which do flame grilled peri-peri chicken? Definitely. Luckily for us, they are not dominant or they are absent in this market. It's a blessing for us in disguise. Are other premium casual dining chains competition to us? Yes. Yes, they are, and we look up to them, we learn from them, we closely watch them. I believe that healthy operators are good for business, vanity projects are not. And I have a big issue with the lack of entry barriers in our industry. We are a experience-based dining restaurant brand and we want to stay that way. Please visit our restaurants, the experience is far superior. We didn't do all of this to do deliveries. We are not those mini plates with exorbitant prices.
Generous portions.
Generous portions, it's a family restaurant, it's focused on families with children, having a comfortable time.
What would you say are the biggest challenges that you faced in the UAE F&B industry since you've been in the QSR sector for quite a few years now?
For us, primarily few challenges. I personally believe that all landlords should come under the remit of RERA. and I mean all landlords. See, when we talk about rent regulation, it is always misunderstood as rental restriction. We are coming in the way of free market economy, but that's a misconception. We are not saying restrict rent, we are saying regulate it. Another bottleneck is most Middle Eastern cities which didn't have the backing of hydrocarbon resources went in with a fee-based economy where you had a fee for anything. Okay, and that was understood because you needed that revenue to build infrastructure and support the economy. And then VAT happened, and then corporate tax happened. And now we have a scenario where we are fee and tax based. Okay, and small businesses cannot afford both. And I am somebody who believes that taxation is an essential element. If you are doing well, it is ethical and the right thing to share that with the infrastructure or the government or the regulatory framework that makes it possible to do business successfully. So corporate tax or even VAT for that matter, I am a big supporter of both those initiatives. But I also believe that when we implement that to the full extent, then the fee structure has to come down to make businesses more competitive. So we need to have a fine balance between are we fee based or are we tax based. The ease of doing business, the city is right there.
I'm very intrigued by these paintings actually. So I know that like the logo and the text all have the South African influence.
Yes.
Writer was hired for that. So could you give us a background on whether it's the same for them?
So Nando's is rumored to be the largest collector of Southern African original art, 5 continents, 22 countries, 1,300 restaurants, 1,400 restaurants, and each are original art commissioned or curated by Nando's, and we support about 275 artists in Southern Africa.
Every single piece is original.
Every single piece is original, and you won't find this in any other restaurant.